Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Please take your seat. Sit down and be comfortable.
You're comfortable?
Yes, sir.
AISWARYA, tell us something about yourself.
Sir, I did my secondary and higher secondary education from DAV Public School, Kalinganagar and DAV Public School, Pokhariput. Thereafter, I joined AISWARYA and completed my BSMS dual degree with a major in physics. I have been a national level Kho-Kho player and a state level athlete. I have a keen interest in I have a keen interest in dancing, acting and exploring various cinema.
Okay, exploring values.
Cinema, movies.
Cinema. Okay, exploring cinema. What would that mean, AISWARYA? Exploring cinema. Yes.
Sir, when I do not restrict myself of watching onto a particular language or a particular content. I watch diverse languages movie, including Bengali, Marathi, Odia, and even outside of India, like Italian movies, Korean movies, English. So that is what I mean by exploring cinema.
Okay, very good, very good. AISWARYA, you're a student of sociology.
Yes, sir.
We have a question for you. There is a concern about the rate of women participation in the workforce, isn't it?
Yes.
Workforce. Supposing if I said that our traditional social setup, the values, the norms, social norms for the women, maybe that stands in the way of a larger participation of women in the workforce. Will it be too much of a saying, or there is some merit in that?
Yes, I need to frame my answer with respect to ISER. With ISER? No, Labor
about
force
women.
Okay.
See, because
Yes, sir.
compared to
Sir,
the developed countries, you get my point. Or?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, of course, the traditional way is coming into as a blockade. For example, the double burden on women. Women are still expected to carry out home activities as per the job. So that is one thing. Second, women are also expected to be in the lower kind of jobs, like pink collarization of jobs mainly in maybe a primary school or a nurse, so that they can manage a 9 to 5 jobs and then go back to home. And third, also the security at workplaces is also a concern. For example, the recent case at Archikar also mentions that how women are unsafe at workplaces. That is another concern. And another, there is a lack of skill development. And for example, in gig workers, we mean this Ola, Uber, or Swiggy drivers. They would require a vehicle, and as compared to
No, if you don't mind, I'll be more specific. Is there kind of a block, cultural mental block, that woman is generally perceived, expected to be a homemaker? Even in the modern times,
Yes, sir.
globalized liberal times.
yes, sir.
And that is one layer there which is blocking the larger participation, or you think it is no longer there?
So it is still there. Women are still expected to are this bread maker and both bread earner. It is a thing, but currently also we are seeing there is an increase of women force. There are institutions
Single
which are
mothers, though they
supporting
have not
a
come to
higher
the
number of
stage.
women and
But
making
do
conditions
you
more
persisting
women
with this point, sorry, it's a bad habit, I know, but for want of time, persisting with my question. So more and more women participation in the labor force, whatever be the level, even the higher level. In sociological terms, does it account for the increasing incidence of divorce? Are you able to foresee single mothers, though we have not come to the stage, but do you anticipate going forward more and more
So, when a
liberalization,
woman gets
globalization,
education
science and
and is then
technology,
empowered,
and
she
then
knows what are her
slowly
rights. So basically,
we are
someone who has not been educated, she
coming
does
away
not know
from
her
our
rights. So
roots,
sometimes when
and
a
then
woman starts
so
asking
also
for her rights,
the
that might be one of the cause for
concomitant
divorce
features of
and single mothers.
increasing
And since,
incidents of
women may not
divorce,
be,
single
it may
women,
not be
single
feasible
mothers?
for women to
Are
do
you
the
able to
traditional work which
foresee?
is expected of women,
Because it's a very
sadly.
fluid
So
situation.
that might be a condition, but I don't
What
think
is
that
your opinion
that should be
as a
our
student
concern.
of
We should be
sociology?
more towards
So,
empowerment of
when a
women and
woman
having more
gets
jobs
education
which
and is
are
then empowered,
and
she
living
knows
a
what are her
environment
rights.
where men and
For
women
basically,
are
someone who
more
has not been educated, she does not know her
approachable
rights.
towards
So
having
sometimes
lot
when
many
the
women.
woman starts asking for her right, that might be one of the
collateral
cause for
question, and I'm
divorce
done,
and
that will
single
be my
mothers.
last question on the same
And
point.
since women may not
After
be,
all, see, we
it
are
may not be
thinking
feasible
in
for
terms
women
of
to do the
developed
traditional work which
countries.
is expected of
We
women,
say by
sadly. So
2047
that
or
might be a
so,
condition. But I
our
don't think that
aspiration
that should
is
be our
to be
concern. We
a
should be
fully
more
developed
towards
country.
empowerment of women and having more jobs
So
which
when we are
are
targeting the
and making
developed
a
country by
environment where
whatever
men and women are
metrics
more
you say,
uh,
what will be the
approachable
parameters?
towards having lot many women.
One collateral question,
we
and
see
I'm
what is
done,
happening in
and
the
that will
Western
be my
countries.
last question on the same point.
On sociological terms
After all,
also, these
see,
are all
we are
the
thinking
accepted
in
norms.
terms of developed countries.
So the
We say by
associated social
2047 or so,
conditions will
our
also
aspiration
obtain
is to be
whenever
a
we
fully
reach the
developed country.
stage.
Yes.
In other words,
So
is
when
there
we
a
are
real
targeting the
danger
developed
of
country by
our
whatever
society
metrics you say, what will be the
getting,
parameters?
coming away from its
So we
moorings,
see what is happening in the
traditional
Western
values,
countries, isn't
and
it?
becoming merged
On
with whatever is
sociological
happening
terms
in the
also,
developed
these are all the
In other
accepted
words,
norms.
marriage as a social
So the
institution,
associated social
will it
conditions
get
will also
eroded
obtain whenever we reach the
and
developed stage.
even runs the
In other
risk of
words, is
becoming
there a real
obsolete
danger
social
of our
institution
society
sometime in the future?
getting, coming away
I will take
from
that.
its
Please,
moorings,
please.
traditional values, and becoming merged with whatever is happening in the developed countries? In other words, marriage as a social institution,
Sir,
will
when we
it
talk
get
of marriage, it's very
eroded
important that we are seeing marriage
and
as two people who are
even
respecting each other.
runs a risk
So
of
even if the
becoming
woman gets
obsolete
empowered and
social
still the man cannot
institution
respect just because the
sometime
woman
in
is
the future?
empowered, then I don't think that marriage should be sustainable.
Absolutely brilliant. It was
I will take one
worth
minute. Thank
harassing
you.
Yes,
you
please,
so far.
please.
Good,
Yeah.
wonderful. This is the concept. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Aishwarya, I would like to know what's the similarity between Aishwarya Mahalik and Aishwarya
Sir,
Bachchan?
when we talk of marriage, it's very
What is
important
the
that we are
similarity?
seeing marriage as two people who are respecting
Sir,
each
I'll
other.
take 1
So
second.
even
I'll
if
just
the
look
woman
into
gets
it.
empowered and still the man cannot
Is
respect
it a
just because
serious
the
question
woman is
that you asked
empowered,
me
then I
that
don't
time?
think that marriage should be sustainable.
So first of all, sir,
Absolutely
I think
brilliant.
we both would
It
be
was
career oriented.
worth
She
harassing you
was a
so far.
brilliant
Good,
actress
wonderful. This is the concept.
and she owned
Thank
a
you,
lot
sir.
of global accolades.
Okay,
So in
Aishwarya,
myself also I see that kind of
I would
ambitions
like to know
and career oriented. Secondly, I
what's the
also believe she
similarity
has
between Aishwarya
been very
Mahalik and
cultural.
Aishwarya
Even
Bachchan?
for example, the incidents where she
What's the similarity?
even at a very global
Okay,
international
sir,
platform,
I'll
she
take
always
one
used to touch
second.
feet
I'll
of her
take 2, 3
in-laws
seconds.
and her family. So I believe that
Is it
family,
a
that
serious question
cultural
that you
values
want
is
to
also
take time?
within me.
Huh?
Even if I'm very career
So
oriented,
first
I
of all,
always
sir,
believe
I
that I
think
would stay
we
to
both
my
would be career
grounds.
oriented.
That would be
She was
second.
a brilliant actress
Okay,
and
so
she
you
owned
can
a lot
think
of
in that
global
way, no?
accolades. So in myself also I see that kind
What
of
is women literacy?
ambitions
Do you know?
and career oriented.
What is women
Secondly, I also
literacy?
believe she
Odisha
has
and
been very cultural. Even for example, the incidents where she uh, even at a very global international platform, she always used to touch
I
feet
cannot
of her
recollect the
in-laws
exact
and her
percentage, but
family.
it is around
So I believe that family,
65%
that cultural values is also within me. Even if I'm
women
very
in
career
Odisha,
oriented, I always believe that I would stay to my
65%,
grounds.
I think.
That would be second.
And
very good. Okay, so you can
nationally,
think in
total
that way,
literacy is
no? Oh,
74%,
very good.
and women literacy is, I
What
think
is
it's
women
again
literacy?
around
Do you know?
68.
So
What is women literacy?
I'm not
Odisha
sure.
and India. Please
I'll,
look at that. Exact figure possible.
I'll
Very
recollect.
good. Yes.
Sorry.
Why
uh,
I want to
I'm
ask
not,
you is
I cannot recollect the exact percentage, but it is
what
around
is feminism and
65%
how it
for
relates to women empowerment.
women in Odisha.
What is feminism and how it
65%,
relates to
I
women
think.
empowerment and from
And
industrial
with
level?
So feminism for me is
national, the
providing
total
equal
literacy is
opportunities
74%, and
to
women
women.
literacy is, I
And
think it's
since we are at
again
a
around
level where
68,
women,
No, that is
maybe
gender.
68.
You are talking
I'm
about.
not,
Please look
I'll,
at that. Exact figure possible.
yes,
I'll
Very
recollect.
good. Yes.
to
Sorry.
give it women a
Why
voice and
I want to
equality
ask
in
you
different
is
spheres, be it economic, political, but since we are
what
at
is
a
this
stage
feminism and
where
how it
women are at a
relates
lesser
to
strata,
women
were not
empowerment?
given so many of opportunities
What
in
is
the past,
feminism
so we are now
and
trying
how
to
it relates
promote
to
them so
women
that
empowerment?
it can come So feminism for me is providing with equal opportunities to women. And since we are at a level where women
No, that is gender. You are talking of gender equity. It's feminism. I am asking about feminism.
Yes, sir. To give it women a voice and equality in different spheres, be it economic, political, but since we are at a stage where women are at a lesser strata, we're not given so many of opportunities in the past, so we are now trying to promote them so that it can come at a higher level. So that kind of efforts that we are putting on women particularly, for me, it's feminism.
Within them, with them, and violence and harassment. So
Okay,
this
but then
actually took a
is
collective
it becoming
voices
a part of women
and the
empowerment?
matters were taken very seriously. So this
Yes, sir.
actually made
If you
women
look at
realize that
the
they can
waves
take
of
up their
feminism,
voice, they
for
can still
example,
go
the
to
first wave
workplaces, and if
demanded
something
for
mishap
right to vote,
happens, they can
and
still take their voice off.
again, third wave around it
Okay,
also
you told that
demanded
you
for
are either to
black
the
women's
cultural
right, and
norms
then
of the
fourth wave it
family
also
and
demanded for hashtag Me Too movement
simultaneously
came into
looking to
very
family
viral.
and the
So I
career.
think that during that Me
That
Too movement,
merits,
a lot of women actually stood
in-laws
for what
want
has
that you
happened
should
for
have this
within them,
or not.
with them. And
How
violence
we
and
accept this?
harassment. So this
Are we
actually took a
culturally go
collective
with them
voices,
or we
and
have your
the
own
matters were taken very seriously. So this actually made women realize that they can take up their voice, they can still go to workplaces, and if something
Depends on the
mishaps happen,
occasion. For
they can
example,
still
if
take
it
their
is,
voice
for
often.
example, it's a festive occasion
Okay,
wherein
you
I
told that you
myself
will
would
either
like to,
to
and
the
it's not
cultural
hampering
norms
myself
of the
respect or
family
anything,
and
it does not question any of this thing,
simultaneously
then I would
looking
do
to
that.
family along with the
But if
career. Suppose that merits
that much is
your
okay for having a
in-laws
bodna,
wants
I
that you
think
should
that
have
is
this
okay
or
for
not.
me.
And where you how you accept it? Will you culturally go with them? In which or will you have your own way of
So we still have superstitions. For
taking up
example,
this?
during menstruation
Okay.
cycles, families still have that. Do not
So
do.
it depends on the occasion. For example, if it is, for example, it's a festive occasion where I would myself would like to, and it's not hampering my self-respect or anything, it does not question any of these things, then I would do that. But
At
if,
home, for example, if I'm not
but for
comfortable, I'll
that
take
that
my
much is
voice.
okay for having
I'm
a
not
bodna, I
comfortable
think that is okay
putting
for
my
me.
putting
And
odna.
where you feel opposed to that?
No,
Sir?
if I'm not
In which
comfortable,
occasion
if
then
it's
you
normal day
are
where I'm
going to
tired
oppose
and
it?
I don't want to put it.
So we
And
still
there's
have
no reason to
superstitions.
do
For
that, then
example,
I would
during
not. But if it's
menstruation
a festive
cycles,
occasion,
families
for
still have
example,
that do not do
worshipping
Then
something,
I'm
worshipping.
talking
I
about
believe that
Odana,
it's
not
okay to
about all
go
those
down, and
things.
then
Odana,
I'll do that.
they want
For
that
example,
your in-laws want that you should have
What's
Odana
your
while
optional
there.
sociology?
You are
Yes,
at
sir.
home.
so
Can
at
you
uh,
enlighten
at
us on
home, for
some of the
example, if I'm
social
not
welfare
comfortable, I'll take my
programs
voice that
addressing
I'm not
to
comfortable
the social and
putting
economic? Now
odna.
we want to know whether you feel comfortable or not.
No, if
Social
I'm
and
not
economic
comfortable, if
empowerment
it's
of
normal
women.
day
There
where
are
I'm
two
tired and I
distinct
don't want to
definitions.
put,
Social
and there's no
empowerment,
reason to do that,
economic
then I would
empowerment.
want. But if it's a festive occasion,
And
for example, a
what is number
worshipping
two?
something where
At the
I
moment,
believe that it's okay
running
to go down, and then
currently.
I'll do that.
Supported by. Okay. What's your optional? Sociology.
Yes, sir.
Can you enlighten us on some of the social welfare programs addressing to the social and
Certain at the
economic
national level
empowerment
would
of
be
women?
Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao for
Women.
education and
Social
empowerment.
and economic empowerment of women.
Others
Try
would
to
be
distinguish
prevention of
between
sexual
social
harassment at
empowerment,
workplace.
economic
Then
empowerment.
the IT Act
And
2000,
what are
which also
government
mentions that
programs at the moment
abusement of women, ops
running
and
in the
material sharing in online
currently?
is also. Then we had
Supported by
Very,
there is a ministry,
yes,
Ministry of Women
women
and
and child
empowerment.
development.
For
yes.
economic, we
So
had
what they are
Startup India and
doing for
Stand Up
this?
India, which were providing women
Certain at the national level would be
women
Beti Bachao,
providing
Beti Padhao
incentives
for
to women.
education and empowerment.
Then
Uh,
What kind of incentive?
Others would be prevention of sexual harassment at workplace. Then the IT Act 2000,
Is it
which
different
also
from the
mentions
boys?
that
Providing
abusement of
getting
women, ops and
incentives?
material sharing in online
Suppose there is a
is also.
startup for
Then we had
women instead of for a man. Is there a difference?
sorry
for
You told that
economic
yes,
we
there
had
is a initiative,
Startup India and
incentive.
Stand Up India, which
it
were
is different, but
providing
I do not know
women
what are the terms.
women providing incentives to women. Then
What kind of
Can you tell
incentives?
about
It's
Baluchistan
different from
startup.
the.
liberation movement?
It is different from the boys.
Sir?
Is it different from
Where
the
is
boys?
Baluchistan?
Providing getting incentives.
No, it is
Suppose
not.
there is a startup for women instead of for a man.
It's
Is there a difference?
state of
Sorry,
Pakistan.
sir.
You told that yes, there is this initiative,
Anyway,
incentive.
you
It is different, but I do not know
something
exactly
on
what are the
the
terms,
Subhadra Yojana,
benefits.
which is now very much in the media,
Okay, so
being discussed. Can you tell about
Recently, in the budget
Baluchistan
of Odisha
liberation
government,
movement?
Subhadra Yojana was announced for providing
Sir,
'Where is
10,000 rupees
Baluchistan?
for 5 years to the women around of the age
No, it
group
is
of
coming in the
18 years
news
to
always.
59 years.
18 or 20?
Pakistan.
Yes, it's a state of Pakistan.
Sorry.
Carry on.
liberation movement is going. Anyway,
So that
you speak something on the Subhadra Yojana, which is very much in the media, being discussed everywhere.
recently in the budget of Odisha government, Subhadra Yojana was announced for providing 10,000 rupees for 5 years to the women around of the age group of 18 years to 59 years.
18 or 21? Victim, the lady doctor, didn't take
Sorry.
much precaution. Go ahead.
So that
Leave the age factor, the other parts of your scheme. Do you think
so that much.
she did not go to what is it meant for? What is the purpose of the scheme?
Providing financial inclusion and financial empowerment to women specifically. It was the hospital that she was
Now,
working in. If
coming
that
to
is
the
insecure for a
Kolkata
doctor,
rape
then
case,
how will it be
don't you think the victim, the lady doctor, didn't take much precaution in when she went to sleep? Do you think that she did not go to a secure place? It was she chose an insecure place to take rest.
like,
Do you think so?
How much? It's like no, women are not so it was her hospital. It was the hospital that she was working in. If that is insecure for a doctor, then how will it be?
I mean, it should be a room with locking facility from inside.
Are still raping women with
So
burqas.
in such a
even
place,
with
a
young
woman
childs of like
should
3 years or 2.5
take
years
rest
old.
after
So
her duty.
How are we
If
defining
it is
that
accessible
security
to all,
providing women
then
and
it becomes
precautions?
unsafe. Yes or no? I mean, your personal opinion. I want.
So, even if how much it's like women are not even secure in their homes, to be honest, and even workplace, how much would prevention would one woman take? Like we are still rapists are still raping women with burqas, even with young childs of like 3 years or 2.5 years old. So how are we defining that security to providing women and precautions?
Another point. Tell us something about corporate social responsibility, CSR.
Uh, I'm not able to remember the correct percentage, around 2 to 3% of the annual turnover of companies in last 3 years. So they should contribute to social responsibilities like an environment, education.
Good.
For
My last
example,
question. What is the difference between
Tata did
direct election and
some
indirect election?
Ahalya, or some, I don't remember. Sorry,
Yes,
sir.
yes,
It's
no.
for tribals.
Okay, it's fine. You get the right answer. Direct election and indirect election. Who was the first woman vice president? First woman president of India. Who are elected directly? First woman president indirectly in India.
Mrs.
Yes, yes.
Pratibha Patil.
Yes, correct. Good. Okay, my last question. What is the difference
I
between
thought it was
direct election and
obvious.
indirect
Direct
election?
and indirect, no? We all vote.
Right. Take
Where
your
people
time.
directly elect.
Relax.
Yes,
Direct election
democracy,
and
we
indirect election. Members of Lok Sabha, where people go and take part in the voting. As you tell me, who are elected directly
vote
and
or
who
not?
are elected
Yes.
indirectly in
This
India.
year.
Huh.
Yes, sir.
That is direct election.
That is direct election. But do people vote for the president of India? Sir,
sir, it's
Yeah.
that is it.
I thought it was obvious, direct and indirect. On unexpected we all vote delivery. Very ordinary delivery. Where people directly elect. Got out.
Yes,
The
sir.
direct.
Democracy.
The MLAs and members of Lok Sabha,
all right.
where people go
so
and take part
when
in
is
the
your
voting.
interview?
It is direct election.
Did you vote or not? Last.
Yes,
Huh?
this year.
12.
Yes, sir.
That is direct election.
That is direct election.
Very good. This is the
But
first exam.
do people vote for the president of India?
No, sir, it's indirect.
That is indirect. Like this.
What was the other Sachin Tendulkar getting out on unexpected ball delivery. Very ordinary delivery. Tendulkar got
My
out.
application got rejected because.
Okay,
of
don't
my,
worry. It's all right. Okay, you didn't appear.
No, I
when is your
applied for the
interview,
but after the
Aishwarya?
just on the day of 12th of September.
12th.
Next Thursday.
Okay, very good.
issue of
It's the first exam, first interview.
Yes, but I appeared for last time also I went through the interview process.
What was the other option?
My BSNS dual
Home
degree was in
science
June
and social.
Yes.
But they were taking up to
Sociology did well?
April or May something.
Sir, actually, my application got rejected because of my that
Oh, okay, you didn't appear at all.
no, I appeared. I went through the interview, but after the just on the day of declaration, it made me rejected because of a date issue.
Oh,
Then date issue of
otherwise
graduation.
you made it, is it?
Yes, but my name did not
Date
come.
Okay.
I appeared on that
Date issue
before
means?
appearing.
So that was a COVID year. So my BSMS dual degree was in June something, but they were taking up to April or May something. They said that. So that was the
They
issue.
could not notice till you're appearing.
No, I noticed. I had before also I had sent them many applications. They were saying it will be no issue. It's a COVID year, so many of the graduations are there. But on the day of interview, they made me wrote an undertaking, and then the day of
But you
result.
appeared, no, you have not appeared the Viva.
No, I appeared on that. Before appearing, I wrote an undertaking, and then I
Not your
appeared.
mark also? No.
Yes, sir.
What was the mark in Viva?
So it was around 165 around.
165.
I'm staying in
How
Bhubaneswar.
it was?
Support.
Native place.
How was the Viva?
Bhubaneswar. It was fine. That year, highest also went around, I think, 175 or 185.
My father is from Baleshwar and my
Is
mother
it
is
like
from
this, that
Jagat
today
Singh.
what we are
No,
doing?
it was very factual.
working?
They asked me a lot from physics and a lot of factual were there.
last
Lot of
time-
Lot of
one,
factual, huh?
a lot of factual questions were there.
OPSC civil services
Good.
exam.
What is the
Yes, my interview was very factual last year.
That date is you.
Huh.
Your native
Home science,
district?
it was good around.
So I'm staying in Bhubaneswar, Support.
Your native place. Where is the native place?
Bhubaneswar.
But you are
Born
giving,
in Bata-
nevertheless,
Yes, sir.
you have chosen
Yes, sir.
sociology.
My father is from Baleshwar and my mother is from Jagat Singh.
One of the reasons was I was.
Are you
this
working
actually
anywhere
happened
now?
to me with,
No, sir.
UPSC, OPSC 2020.
So last time
So after that, I was
your
appearing for UPSC
performance
mains.
in options was good.
To
What is
align
what is the
with
percentage?
UPSC sociology.
Sociology and home science. Okay.
And I found sociology more interesting than home science.
Very
Home science, it was good around, both were in 200 above, but sociology, it was less, around I think 160.
But you are giving, nevertheless you have chosen sociology and not home science. Why?
So one of the reasons was I was this actually happened for me with OPSC 2020. So after that, I was appearing for UPSC mains.
Okay.
So that to align with UPSC
Oh, very
sociology.
good, very
sir.
good. Okay.
And I found sociology more interesting than home science.
Very good. No, you have done very well.
I knew
So
that, but
there is no
sorry,
need
sir.
for
Make some study.
any
Basic
further
things of
comments.
politics,
You will
political
do well.
science.
Any questions
Public
from your side, Aishwarya?
Yes, sir.
Sociology of
Any questions from your side
society,
for
family,
suggestions?
Where I can improve.
and caste and class.
No, I think you are very, very natural, very eager, and then eager to engage the board in conversation. Excellent. But I thought the direct and indirect
Raman was
election.
Sir, I knew that, but sorry, sir.
Make some study.
Okay, sir.
Some
I'll-
basic things of
Yes.
politics,
Got
political
national
science,
Best Korea movie.
I'll-
public
After that
administration.
also new has got. And
So-
from sociology also some of the common things,
Yes.
society,
Yes.
family,
Another movie.
try to collect the name, caste and class, different tribal groups, primitive tribes. These are all there is.
do very well.
Which is the
Aishwarya.
most recent
Nothing
award
to
winning
report.
king
You are
of Korea?
natural, eager. And then very.
Daman was one of them.
After that,
Hobby as
I did not.
try to collect that.
Because for want of
Daman, it got national best Korea movie.
But after that also new has got.
open
I also don't remember that.
I think Pratiksha was another movie.
Try to collect that name and the story also.
Okay.
Okay, board may
You,
take it. More factual.
you will do very well, Aishwarya. Nothing to worry about it. You are natural, eager, and then very analytical also.
Should I write hobby as exploring cinema?
Oh, you did well because for want of time, it's a beautiful word. Explore means it's open-ended. You're
Yes.
open to ideas.
Sir, you can change it. Exploring cinema is not appropriate wording.
Thank you, sir. What
Interest in cinema.
We enjoyed the
Okay.
conversation.
Interest in cinema.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Take interest in doing cinema. Of a particular category, if you want, you can mention.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Feel comfortable and you're very good, and eager, enthusiastic, and keeping the conversation. Remember, it's a conversation. It's not a question.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All the best, Aishwarya.
Thank
I'd
you,
like
sir.
to see
Thank
you in
you,
the
sir.
days.
Thank you,
huh?
sir.
God
Thank
bless
you,
you.
sir. Thank you, sir.
I will do well. I will hope.
We enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay.